Hi, today I'm going to talk to you about stress. Now, every one of us feels stressed out, and I've always been curious what is it that makes us stress out? It turns out that stress actually used to help us. It used to save us from animals, from dangers, from anything. So that's very interesting, but in our modern world, we don't have much danger, like we don't have lions running around, we don't have things like that. So sometimes we can feel stressed out because of our families and because of our parents and because of our friends and lovers and school and work and whatever you want to mention. And it's not very helpful. Sometimes we feel like we want to just give up because stress is making us feel very, very bad. I wanted to tell you about stress in general. I wanted to tell you about the science behind stress. And in today's video, I'm going to tell you guys what stress actually is, how it works, what's the science behind it basically, and what do you do when you feel stressed out. So we have stressors. These are the things that activate the stress response. This might be your friends, your lover, your family, your work, your school, whatever it is that stresses you out. This is stressor. And stress is the system of changes activated in your brain and body in order to respond to the stressors. There are three types of responses. First is fight, second is flight, and third is freeze. Fight, flight, freeze. 3 Fs. What's going on in your body, in your brain, when you are in stress? Let's imagine that you're in a jungle, okay? Weird situation, but whatever. Let's imagine that. Let's imagine that there's a lion that tries to chase you. What happens inside your body and brain? The first thing that happens, you notice that there's a lion and that it's not in cage, and you think that it's a threat to your life. We experience biochemical change. Let me read this to you because I won't remember that. This biochemical change is characterized by floods of adrenaline, and cortisol to your bloodstream, plus your heart rate changes, respiration rate changes, blood pressure changes. You can you can also experience suppressed immune and digestive functioning. There are other symptoms like dilation of the pupils, shifting of attention in a vigilant state, which makes you focus on where you are, what you're doing, what is happening, and stuff like that. That helps you survive. It is basically preparation for the action that is going to come. It's basically your body kind of preparing itself to fight or flight from this lion. Action is context dependent. So if there is lion, you may choose to fight it single-handedly, or you can choose to flight and run and find some help, or you can choose to freeze, which actually happens a lot in nature. Like today, I have learned that dragonflies actually freeze, then they don't want to have sex with male dragonflies. And it's basically because they are already pregnant, and it's basically not reasonable for them to have sex for the second time. But it's so interesting because even dragonflies do that. Lots of animals do that. Freeze response is kind of activated, and you think that you will not escape. And this is what you're doing. You're freezing and you hope that you're going to be alive, which is basically very, very sad, but it's how our systems work. When you have fight or flight responses, it's basically your sympathetic nervous system that is working and kicking in. And freeze response is actually the parasympathetic nervous system doing its job. The parasympathetic nervous system basically shuts your body down. It makes you freeze, it makes you wait for something to happen. People or animals can experience tonic immobility, which means that you cannot move, or you can move but very slowly. And another interesting thing about freeze response is that when you are over the situation, like when everything has happened and you've actually survived the attack, your body will start to shake and tremble. Imagine you were in a situation where your body chose freeze response. After that, you will probably start shaking and trembling, and your body just is feeling all the feelings that it has been suppressing for that time. And it actually makes sense, right? After all that, there is happily ever after. The end. The moment when you go to your loved ones, hug them, and you feel happy and you feel all the feelings and you're in love and everything is basically amazing. So, what do you do when you feel stressed? You can do some physical activity, go for a run, go for a swim, whatever suits you, whatever you really, really like. Another method is sharing affection, going and hugging and kissing your loved ones. You can actually scream or have a good cry. You know this feeling after you've cried. Here you are crying your eyes out and then you feel magically happy. What has happened? It's just your stress cycle that has just finished itself. It has been completed. You can use meditation or relaxation. Body self-care like grooming, massage, or doing your nails. I've never actually tried that when I was stressed out, but some women say that they like doing their makeup because it actually relaxes them when they are feeling stressed out or nervous. And my personal faves: running, drawing, screaming, crying, beating something up, reading, singing or just listening to music, dancing. Alcohol can help because it actually relaxes your body. It makes you sometimes sleepy. It basically makes you less nervous, less caring about shit, and so this may help. I wouldn't recommend that as a stress reliever. There are a lot of things that can help you during stress. You can find things that weren't mentioned in the list but can actually help you because there's always room for finding things. I have just found out what ASMR is. I found out what that is only yesterday, but I have actually experienced ASMR before. I just didn't know the word for that, and you can actually Google what ASMR is or just find a video on YouTube. It is said to help with stress problems, sleeping problems, and stuff like that, so maybe try that out. Well, that's basically it for today. I hope you really enjoyed my video. I hope you learned something new. I hope you have a good cry if you decide that that's what you really want to do if you're feeling stressed out. And I'll see you when I have my creative energy back. Thank you for watching.